Stephen Curry is one of the best players in the NBA. He's a 3-time champion, 2-time MVP, and will go down as the greatest shooter to ever do it. But Steph wasn't always great. In fact, in high school, he wasn't even the best player on his team. So how good was Stephen Curry in high school? Let's find out. Well, what's going on, basketball fans? My name is Josh and I am back with another video. This is a new type of video that I'm making, so if you guys enjoy it and want more, make sure you guys let me know. But with that being said, let's get into it. Stephen Curry comes from a family of athletes. You probably know his father, Del Curry, who played 16 years in the league and had a pretty respectable NBA career. And we all know Steph's mother, Sonia Curry. She was actually a star volleyball player at Virginia Tech. So people thought that Stephen Curry was going to be an athletic specimen. He had two parents who played their sport at high levels. I mean, what could go wrong? Well, growing up, Steph at times was the smallest guy on the court, not just because of his height, but also because of his weight. By the time he had entered high school, Steph was about 5'5", barely over 100 pounds. His jersey barely hung around his shoulders. I mean, the dude was scrawny. But despite his lack of size, he made up for it with his fundamentals and his high basketball IQ. Steph, without question, was the smartest guy on the court 10 out of 10 times. And his coaches and his teammates recognized that when Steph was at an early age. His high school coach said, "You could tell that Steph was going to be a really good basketball player." Now his first 2 years in high school, they were pretty rough. His coach said he could always shoot the ball, but his release was slow, and he had to be wide open in order to shoot. He also said Steph's handles were nonchalant and he was so elusive for defenders. By his junior year, Steph wasn't even 6 feet tall yet, and at the time, he hadn't gained any attention from any D1 school in the entire country. So his coach Sean Brown sat down with him before his junior season and told the greatest shooter ever, "You need to take more shots and you have to be more aggressive." And this is when things started to materialize for Stephen Curry. He recognized that he was small and he knew that there was nothing that he could do about it. So, instead of giving up, he realized that the only way that he could get his shot off was if he could shoot as fast as possible. And that's exactly what he did. Throughout his junior year and the following summer, he worked on his shot and worked on his release. He became a dominant scorer and finally the face of his high school basketball team. But for a guy who had aspirations of making the NBA just like his father, that wasn't enough. By his senior year, Steph had put in the work and he had all the confidence in the world. Now he was about 6'1", a little taller, but still hadn't gained any national buzz. But nevertheless, Steph had a dominant senior season and led his team to a 33-3 record. But still, not many schools believed in him. A skinny 6'1" kid, people thought there was no way this guy was going to become anything special. Nobody except for Davidson. And we all know the story from there. Steph committed to Davidson, went off in the tournament, and became one of the greatest shooters ever. But when his high school career was over, Steph was ranked as a 3-star recruit, and he was the 281st overall player in his class. That just goes to show how under-recruited Stephen Curry was while he was still in school. I mean, he wasn't great in high school at all. When you look at some of the top players in the NBA today, most of them were highly recruited. LeBron James, for example, Kevin Durant. Even recently, guys who are top 1 through 10 in their class usually end up going number 1 through 10 in the NBA draft. But for Steph Curry, he was nowhere near the top, but that didn't matter. Even though Steph was short and skinny, that didn't stop him. He kept on working on his game, working on his craft, and when the time came to prove himself, he did. His story is so motivating. If you're a young basketball player watching this video and you have dreams of making the league yourself, look at Steph's story and realize that with hard work and the right mindset, literally anything is possible. And Steph is the perfect example of that. I mean, the dude was 5'5" his freshman year of high school. Steph's high school story is definitely one of my favorites in the NBA. For a guy who was ranked 281 to become the greatest shooter ever and one of the greatest NBA players ever, I mean, the story is truly extraordinary. So that's the story of Stephen Curry in high school. I hope you guys enjoyed this new type of video. If you did, make sure you guys hit that like button. I want to bring out a ton more of these because they're super fun to make and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But that's it for me. Till next time, peace.